was kind of talking with Chaz here earlier. Um, He's kind of wondering, would we get potentially different flowers? Um, what other potential flowers are available? Um, is there a white tulip? Could we get a white tulip for free and potentially, you know, create those colors using color influence? Um, so I had already done some digging here. I don't necessarily want to spoil it for him if he doesn't want to know, but I went digging more the harder way. So I went into the APK. I looked at the JSON file for the catalog that's there, and just basically told them, "Hey, I think there's a little more than tulips here." Um, and that was before I'd really dug in past the JSON file. And just said I was poking around the APK, and this is kind of what I found. So we got roses, uh, roses in blue, red, white, and yellow, as far as I can see there. Camellia, white pansy, um, yeah, pansies in white, red, blue, yellow. Sunflower, we have tulips, yellow, black. I'm guessing yellow, black is actually yellow pansy. Um, but tulips in red, yellow, blue. Cherry and cyclamen. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but those ones we've seen nothing of. Cherry white is interesting, and camellia white, is that just, no, because you have normal white, so, or you have it in red as well. So a few other flower types listed in the JSON file as actual game assets within the file. It didn't give me pictures or anything like that. That was a little bit tougher. It's wrapped in Unity files, and I had to get a bit of an extractor going for that. So at that point, I did get to, so we've got the Pikmin folder, global assets. We'll go into assets, and we can get the 2D textures just to see some pictures here. It's kind of more what we're after. That should give us a bit of a hint, or we can try to narrow that down a little bit. So here you have your seedlings when they're actually fully hatched or growing. Basically, a bunch of the icons in the game as they update. Here's your petal bottle. So this one's a little bit interesting because we seem to have potentially more petal bottles available. Like, what is blue purple? We're not necessarily using blue purple. They may have planned for extras. Not really too sure, but they could potentially use the same bottle color. It's just you might not see the flowers inside, and they could put another label under it, reusing bottle colors. You could get away with that. Plus, they have some extras here. But I don't necessarily see bottles, at least specifically, for some of those special flowers. So that would lead me to the impression that it's possibly more a random event based on other flowers, or for events, certain times of year. Or combinations of certain flowers would lead up to this potential flower. But once you do get down to the POI icons, you do see, we bring this over, we do have different flowers. So there's your red camellia, white. Oh, there's the cherry. So we do potentially have cherry in there. There's your blue flower, red flower, white flower, yellow, pansies, roses, and then we get into close. So maybe just for events, I'm not too sure, but we don't really see beyond the cherry there and the camellias other things that we're not able. But here we don't see the tulips either. So still kind of unknown there. I'll just, scroll through a little bit here. The cherry, you do have some POI for cherry. Camellia, white, cherry. And that's kind of about it that's there. So there is a possibility of other flowers, but if we look here, we don't necessarily have the nectar for them either. So with blue nectar, happy nectar, honey ball. I guess it was honey before, then they changed it to nectar, so a lot of the files are still named honey. Yeah, so blue, red, yellow, white, blue, red, rose, white. So you can get white rose nectar, which Chas did. And unique default, unique white. So they might be able, well, they have blue and red, but they might be able to use this default with a color overlay or underlay, possibly. But I doubt it when you have individual colors already made, specifically made. So I'm guessing we don't see nectar for tulips, and I'm guessing that we don't see nectar for any of the other ones that are potentially here. So could be randomness based on other flowers. Could be that we're not going to see them, or certain places may see them during certain times, something like that. So there you go. A little bit into the assets folder, or 2D assets folder from Pikmin Bloom.